just going to share some things that help me strengthen my knee. Again, I was talking earlier about how I've had injuries from doing spinning kicks, hook kicks, or running long distance, or sprints, and then, I just feel like unstable in my knee. So these are some things that help me. Of course, I'm not a doctor, so not giving you advice for that, just giving things that might help you, that have helped me in the past. I always believe in warming up the body. There's an old thing we learned a long time ago, the Treppe effect, T-R-E-P-P-E, kind of a staircase of where your body warms up, and then you're not just warming up muscles and all that stuff, you're also warming up your nervous system. Some people forget about the nervous system. It's all about that mitochondrial health. But that's a whole nother discussion. Always start with, I recommend like a warm-up. It could be like a 5-minute walk, something like that. And then these are some good warm-ups that I like to do. Just kind of like, maybe I'm in a chair here, and just kind of like do some pulsating thing here, but I'm kind of like, I'm using my quads here, right here, which is the muscles. You got your medialis, vastilis, and then all that kind of securing the joint here. So just kind of going up and down like that. I'm not doing like way up and down or anything like that. Just a little bit here to kind of warm it up. And then I also recommend maybe doing, clockwise circles here. And believe it or not, when I'm moving in and out, you're using like abductors and adductors and all that kind of stuff, kind of to stabilize. And of course, you want to reverse it the other direction too. So maybe do that, for a few seconds each. So again, when you're moving in one direction or other, you're working muscles that stabilize your whole knee here. And so that kind of gets the blood flowing. Again, the 5-minute walk, do that kind of stuff, and that's pretty cool. I also like to go from there, isometric exercise. So I'll do like I might even push up against, like if I get my heel grinded into this floor here, I might just do a quad. I can hold it up, but I can rest it there and just kind of like, what I'm doing is kind of like what they would do, like astronauts would do in outer space, where there's no gravity. I'm doing an isometric exercise. I'm just like kind of straining the muscle in my quads here. You can feel the tense. And maybe do like, on a lot of these things you can do by time, or, like in this case where we're doing time, I might do like 3 sets of 10 seconds and build up to 3 sets of 30 seconds. All right, so that's kind of a quad set there. You can also do some stuff. Again, if something hurts, don't do it. But if you want to do isometric, I can take like my ankle here and I can push against it and really work my quad. Or if you had a wall, you could actually push up against the wall, do the same thing. But I like this right here because I'm doing the hamstring on one and then the quad on the other, so I'm doing both. It's very important that we always do opposite muscle groups so we stay, have muscle balance. So what I'm doing, I'm actually pushing against each other, so you're stabilizing the whole area, So this is good stuff here. And then you just switch it around. And I do recommend, even if you only have an injury on one side, do it for both legs. We do a lot of these routines in martial arts. We train both sides. So again, now I'm doing the opposite here. So this one's pulling this way while this one's pushing that way. So it's a push and pull at the same time. And I start with 3 sets of 10 seconds, build up to 3 sets of 30 seconds. And when you're doing that, you should be tired. You should be tired because even just playing around like that, I can feel it. Another thing I like to do is something that Sarah Johnson, she's a PT buddy of mine, that helped me start doing. It was these single leg Roman deadlifts kind of things, what they call those say RDLs a lot of times. But and then you might be asking, well, why are we doing these things? Well, a lot of times when you have trouble with your hamstrings, it's probably instability, or it's kind of like what they call a closed chain. Imagine links in a chain. So if one link in that chain is weak, it can throw off everything. So a lot of times when I have hamstring issues, it's because my glutes are weak. If I'm getting like an IT band issue, maybe my gluteus medius weak, I might have to do like fires. But all these things are going to help you with the knee too. So what I'm going to do is show you kind of my little routine. So let's go with the RDLs I was telling you about. So as I go forward here, and I'm going back down, and then I just alternate. And of course, I might do like 2 sets of 10 or whatever. If you want to get bold, you can hold a weight in your hand and really increase it. Or what you can do, get a little more, we call stabilization, like if you go real slow, you get some more concentrated, like eccentric concentric contraction. What I mean by that is, if I go slow, it takes a lot of stability for me to do that. You see what I'm saying? And then I go down slow to get a little eccentric too. So I have to control it, and I do the same for both sides. Real nice and slow and controlled, and then go backwards real slow and controlled. So that's harder than it looks, but you can do it. Another thing we do in martial arts classes that really help with the glutes and the whole chain is we do these almost like a full plank. I'll be here, and I'm gonna do like a back kick here. Now we do like side kick, hook, round, all that kind of stuff, but all you really need to do is do like back kicks. And whatever you do one side, do the opposite side, go ahead and do that. And then at the end, you're gonna already be burning. Do what we call a fire hydrant here. So this fire hydrant here, you're gonna really burn that gluteus medius, and this is good if, honestly, if you wanna prevent some IT band issues and everything else. And that'll burn after doing a whole bunch of that stuff. Those are some things that are really helpful. Another thing you can do, maybe a little bit more advanced, if you feel unstable, hold the chair here. And let's say, we'll just pretend my right leg's in question. Then I'm going to take this leg out, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bend that knee until that heel touches, and I'm just going to go back, maybe do 3 sets of 10 like that. Now, if you notice, the range of motion ain't too terrible, but if you're hurting, it's going to do something. And I'm old, so my knees are actually kind of crunching there. I have a little crepitus going on here. But let's say you want to increase the grade activity up and make it a little bit harder. You can take like a book or a step, like if you got a aerobic step or something. I just found this little pattern here. So I'm going to step on here, and look, even just that extra 2 inches, the range of motion is greater. I mean, I could try to do it with one hand to really get stable, or I can hold on here to make sure it collapse. You know, if you think you might collapse, you want to hold on to something to be safe. And this is a good burn. Now, to get higher than that, you know, what I've done is just use actual steps in the house and hold on to the handrails, like, you know, to get in and out of your house, and just pick and choose, like, okay, we'll do this step, or you may have steps inside, you can do the same thing. Just make sure your rails are stable, because you don't want to slip off. All right, you can add extra pad there, step, aerobic step, but this right here, this is actually a good height for me. I mean, I could probably do a little bit more, but I can actually feel that. That's pretty good. So I might start doing these again. It's been a while, so yeah, that's good stuff. All right, hope that helps.